Good morning, Jefferson. Today we are going to be finding the volume of spheres. In my math interactive notebook, I have my table of contents labeled for all of my topics on volume and the volume of spheres. Today we are going to be working on page 13. On page 413 of our Go Math books, there's an explore activity as to why the volume of a sphere does not include the height, like the volume of a cylinder and the volume of the cone. And the reason is because since the center of a sphere has all points equal distance to the outside of the sphere, the height is actually double the radius. So our formula looks very different from the other formulas. I'm going to turn my page over and you are going to see that the volume of the sphere is right here. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed instead of r squared. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write that in my Go Math book. I am going to start by drawing a sphere because that's going to visually help me. Volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so I am going to take a look at a question and use the formula to find the volume of the sphere. I'm going to turn my page over and I'm going to take a look at question number 16. For question number 16, they are going to give us the diameter. The diameter is 2.5. To find the radius, we know that it's half the diameter, so my radius for this sphere is 1.25 because 2 and 5/10 divided in half is 1 and 25/100. So I'm going to start by drawing that radius 1.25 or 1 and 25/100. Now I am going to use the formula. My first step, just like last week in finding the volume of cones, is to rewrite the formula. If I am taking 4/3 of any number, that is the same as multiplying the numerator by 4 and then dividing by 3. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that formula. Volume is equal to 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. And once again, the reason why I rewrite the formula is because this is a format that you can plug into the calculator. Dividing by 4/3, then multiplying on a calculator is very difficult if you do not have a scientific calculator. And this format will work for any type of calculator, even my phone, which I will be using today. All right, so I'm going to plug in the numbers. The only number I need is the radius. It's actually much simpler because there's only one number you need to solve this formula. So volume is equal to 4. Once again, for this lesson, we are using 3 and 14/100 for pi. Our radius is 1.25 cubed, and I'm going to divide that all by 3. Okay, so last week's video, I had a little bit of a glare, so I'm going to hold my phone at an angle. So hopefully there is no glare today. So 1.25 cubed would be 1.25 times 1.25 times 1.25. And my answer is 1.953125. And it makes sense because if I'm multiplying 1 and 25/100 3 times, there is 2, 4, 6 places after the decimal point, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know my number is accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Volume is equal to 4 times 3.14 times 1.953125. If it is if your answer is a terminating decimal, please write down all the numbers. Do not round at this point, even though your answers are asking you to round to the nearest tenth, because that will affect the accuracy of the final answer. So if you can, please do not round. So once again, I'm going to take this whole number and I'm going to divide it by 3. Volume is equal to, now I'm going to plug that into the calculator. 4 times 3.14 times 1.953125 That whole thing is equal to 24.53125 divided by 3 is equal to 817.17708, and then the number keeps going. I don't need to keep going because I know that I can find my answer. My answer is volume is equal to, round to the nearest tenths place, 8.2. Once again, underline the digit, circle right next door, 5 or greater, add one more. Since 7 is 5 or greater, I'm going to add 1 to the 2, so the answer is 8.2. In this case, it was feet, so this would be feet cubed.